Alright, so as of late, the Black Clover manga has been full throttle action and suspense. It has really been a whole lot of fun, from new enemies, combat, and seemingly endless transformations. I mean, really, if you've been keeping up with our weekly coverage of the chapters, then you'll know that we have received 8 straight chapters with new transformations from various characters. That's unprecedented as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, tons of fun and excitement to be had with Black Clover. However, with the latest demonic occurrence Clover Kingdom was suddenly faced with, it was as if a weapon of mass destruction had just been dropped on them, as technically it was exactly that. The danger this thing posed to all inhabitants was staggering. Several magic knights stepped up to the plate, but ultimately, the creature was largely infallible to magical assaults, as the very essence of its existence was one that was in repulsion of all other magics. And it is for this reason that Asta made for the ideal candidate to stop it. As with his anti-magic being stronger than ever before, the creature was little more than a walking slab of meat ready to be carved up. But be this as it may, beyond the now public recognition of Asta's capabilities we all applaud, I feel we must also look to the folly of Wizard King Julius. Now, don't get me wrong, Julius was an incredibly powerful practitioner that truly was deserving of his position. But as made evident with this instance, he is in no condition to protect the Clover Kingdom. In his attempt to quell and vanquish the beast, it took not but a few seconds for him to falter and need to be saved himself. This is a vulnerability in national security that absolutely cannot be the case. Sure, plenty of the kingdom's strongest mages were on foreign soil at the time, but for the Wizard King to still be on the premises and overlooked entirely by the enemy is just downright shameful. And to be fair, the whole reason he's even in this current predicament with a lack of magical power is the fact that he died. He lost to light, and perhaps this was unfair. A cheap shot, considering he was stabbed vitally in the midst of saving the entire country's population simultaneously. But the fact yet remains that he has outlived his usefulness for the time being in regards to combat. And because of the sort of person that Wizard King Julius is, I imagine that he will recognize all of this himself and be able to respectfully step down from the mantle as opposed to being forced out or anything disgraceful like that. And I feel like this would be a fair point for that to occur, considering the fact that this is his first instance of attempting to protect the country in his current form. He certainly knew himself to be far weaker and less capable than he was in his proper form, but to experience it firsthand in this way must be far more enlightening. If it comes down to strategy and coordination of the country's forces, sure, he still possesses the very same shrewd and perceptive mind. But I would argue that it takes far more than being a clever strategist to be the Wizard King. But with all that in mind, who could possibly fill his shoes and take his position? Well, I'd imagine the best place to start would be firstly taking a look at the guild captains. Characters in positions of power and leadership that would be able to ascend to the seat just as Julius had, going from captain of the Azure Deer to Wizard King. Now, all the way back to the beginning of the series, and I'm talking about chapter 2 people, the captain of the Golden Dawn, William, was considered to be the top candidate for next Wizard King. However, this is certainly a complicated matter, as the betrayal of William led to disaster for the country once before, so it's questionable if the people would be willing to put their faith in him, despite the fact that he has pledged himself to the kingdom and to Julius once more following these events. Now, Yami, as cool as that would be, is both a foreigner and not exactly the type. He could definitely surprise us, as he tends to do, but he may be too unorthodox for the leadership of the entire country. Next up, we have Nozel Silva, who is a favored character of mine, who I feel has the tactical and rational know-how to lead and shoulder such a responsibility. He may not be the absolute strongest, but it's not as if he's a captain for no reason. His mother, whose magical attribute he inherited, was one of the kingdom's strongest knights ever, and tutor of Mereoleona, who I doubt I really need to elaborate on. He has potential. After that, Charlotte is damn strong, as we've especially seen with her True Briar magic recently. Additionally, she is one of the most popular characters in the series, believe it or not, so there is hope for her yet. She's not especially suitable for the position or anything, but it's not as if she's underqualified either. Fugelion is an incredible man with crazy firepower, perhaps only superseded by his sister, Mereoleona. But even still, he is an exceptional leader, and as rivals, an equal competitor to Nozel in my book. Not to mention that he has been confirmed by Tabata to be the most intelligent captain in the Clover Kingdom, with Nozel in second and Charlotte in third. Now, after all these cases, there are definitely more captains, but I wouldn't put much merit into their prospects, to be honest. And if you disagree, feel free, because Wizard King Dorothy would be cool to me, but yeah. Other than the captains, perhaps you have considered the likes of Asta and Yuno, or Not and Mereoleona. But I honestly doubt it. The first two are our main characters, and we kinda need them to be mobile for the sake of the story. They're certainly powerful, but definitely have a ways to go before they're ready to assume such a position, their dream. In the case of Not, I think in terms of the story, we'll be seeing him be properly indoctrinated into the nuclear family that is the Black Bulls following all this. So for that reason, I can't see it happening. And as for Mereoleona, she is obsessed with combat and conflict. I don't imagine she would make for a very good Wizard King. She is certainly very powerful, far stronger than Julius is right now, and plenty of the captains for that matter, but she just doesn't have that sort of leadership bone in her. Now, she certainly did step up to the position of guild leader in place of her brother, but that was under very specific circumstances that I don't imagine are going to come to fruition once more. And now, with all this in mind, I don't want you to walk away from this video the impression that Julius is entirely worthless now, because that simply isn't the case. His dream for the Clover Kingdom was a future free of discrimination. And now, with this additional time provided to him, he has a chance to see it truly realized and be a part of it. And it is with this pretense that I believe that Julius should join the Magic Knights, or rejoin, I suppose. This would be an opportunity for him to continue serving his country and also to bolster his strength and explore the many interesting sorts of magic out there that he so enjoys. That way, in due time, 10 years or so, he may once again ascend to the position, being stronger than ever before. But what do you guys think? Is it time for us to see the 29th Wizard King, and who do you imagine it will be? Let us know down below, and while you're at it, be sure to subscribe to Plot Armor with notifications on, and consider checking out our Patreon linked in the description and the card above. Because when it comes to bringing you some of the best Black Clover content on the platform, Plot Armor has you covered. As always, I am Sliceable Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching, and have an awesome day. I love you.